All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Cookie Cafe tonight. We'll be covering the troop initial order and everything that entails. If everyone can do me a favor and take a moment to change your display name if you haven't already to show your full name so that we can take attendance and let our team know who joined us this evening, and as well as a few ground rules. I do have my team member, Paige Callahan, in the chat tonight. She'll be able to answer any questions as we go along. And then anything that she can't answer, we will have a portion at the end of the training to answer any remaining questions. If we have time, I can also go and do a screen share in eBuddy and poke around there a little bit. If anyone has any additional questions, we can do some walkthroughs if we have time. So we will go ahead and get going here. All right, so your troop initial order submission. These orders are going to be due February 1st. You have until 11:59 p.m., so just before midnight to get those filled out and turned in on eBuddy. Troops who have parents submitting their initial order through Digital Cookie, those parents have a deadline of 11:59 p.m. on January 28th. And then the girl delivery option in Digital Cookie will pause for the initial order from January 28th through February 5th. This just gives time for you to gather everything else that might be needed from those parents for those few days, allows the orders to update in eBuddy. And yeah, most of all, just allows everything to update so that the initial order can be as accurate as possible. So troops should enter all of the paper orders needed for each girl. Digital cookie, girl delivered cookies are automatically added to the initial order, and we'll see this a little later on in our screenshots of the training here. eBuddy rounds up all troop orders to the nearest case. So troops are responsible for those extra cookies when the order gets rounded up. So since each case contains 12 boxes of cookies, if your total troop order is, say, 6 toffee tastics, you are going to receive 12. All right, so to start your troop's initial order, you'll go to the initial order tab in eBuddy. So that's right up top here. It's one of the first tabs. Here you'll see your Girl Scouts names. These are grayed out just for privacy reasons here. But there are names here. And then you'll see the order card details. Any digital cookie orders, those will already show up here, like I said. They'll automatically transfer over here and be that. So this is the full tally of each girl's digital cookie orders. And then it will also total the order card cookies and the digital cookies together on that total order line for each girl. So yeah, so down here it'll also show that conversion that we talked about. So this is the total packages that the troop ordered. It's rounding those up to cases, so it knows that there's 12 cases in a, sorry, 12 boxes in a case. Since this troop order only has 8, it's going to order 1 full case, and then you're going to have 4 extras of the adventurefuls, and so on and so forth. So it's automatically doing that math, and then this is where you'll know exactly what you have extra. And then you'll also see this number reflected later on the girl orders tab once you receive your inventory. So after the initial order, you'll see that you have this much inventory available to assign to the girls. So your troop can also order cookies for booths on the initial order, but it's important to keep in mind that these cookies do come out of that first ACH sweep for $2.50 a box. It is recommended to wait to order booth cookies at a cookie cupboard unless your troop is well established and you know you have those funds. Another thing to note is if you have a cookie booth maybe that first weekend you don't know if you'll get to the cupboard and you know that you'll sell those cookies at that booth and you know that you're good financially, by all means, you can order those booth cookies. So in order to order those booth cookies, you'll click on the booth line here and it will open up a new page just like inputting a girl order, and you'll be able to enter the quantity you need and hit save. And those, one thing to note, you'll enter those in packages, not cases, because it's everything on the initial order is in cases. So this person wanted last year 120 packages, which is 10 cases for this specific variety. All right, so to add cookies to each Girl Scout, you can simply click on their name and then it'll take you to this new screen. You can input their paper orders here under the order card line. And then you'll hit save and repeat for each girl as needed. You'll also see here in the gray column the girl delivery orders. So it's going to show you the total as you enter those order card orders. It's going to show you the total with those girl deliveries as well. So just make sure that your parents aren't, when they give you that order card, they aren't including those numbers. So it is helpful to just ask for, you know, the total cookies you need for everything in addition to just the order card, just so that you can verify that they're not like ordering way too many. All right, so there is a new optional feature which does allow the parents in Digital Cookie to submit their initial order for that girl, and that will post to the girl's initial order record in eBuddy. The troop will have a parent initial order deadline date of January 28th. This is set by GSSEM, but troops can change the date if needed. So if you'd like to submit your order a few days sooner, you can adjust that date. And then the troop initial order submission date is that February 1st at 11:59. So you have a few days there. Troop leaders should make sure that parents are, like I said, are not duplicating their orders, like their girl delivered cookies. So I think on Digital Cookie it shows as it's like my offline orders or my parent initial order. They might not quite understand what that means. So that is just that parent IO is just their initial order card cookies. It's much like fall sale. If you participated in fall, that option to enter their order cards, and then the leader still goes in and verifies everything at the end. So this is a little bit what that looks like. If your troop is using that parent IO feature through Digital Cookie, and they submit something, you'll see that they submitted because it will show needs review here in red. And then when the parent sends the initial order from Digital Cookie to eBuddy, the messaging will change to let you know that eBuddy got the order, and it will go from needs review to review it parent IO. So you'll click the girl's name to review what the parent submitted in Digital Cookie, and you'll notice that there is a gray PIO equals under the product name, and this just tells you the packages that were sent from the parent in the Digital Cookie system. So this is what they entered. And then if you update the numbers in the order, you'll also be able to see the original numbers. So these numbers do not change. You'll always be able to see what that original parent order was. You will review the order and click save and repeat this for each girl as needed. There is a more in-depth step-by-step process for this on pages 25 through 28 in the Troop Manager Guide. So feel free to review that if you do choose to use this feature and you're still a little lost. All right, so once you have all of those order cards updated, any of those parent IOs and everything is verified, you've got your booth cookies maybe that you wanted to add to your order, everything looks good. You'll then go and hit the Submit Troop IO button. Once you click this button, a pop-up warning will show again asking if you're ready to submit. This is final, so definitely make sure you have all your ducks in a row before hitting that pretty blue button. All right, so once your troop initial order is submitted, you'll then want to go to the delivery tab. So it's just the next tab over. To select your delivery location, date, and time. This is required in order to get your cookies. So you definitely must arrive at your selected date, time, and location. And once you fill out who is picking up the cookies, it's going to ask you, so here, who is picking up your cookies? So someone from my troop or someone from another troop. Some troop leaders work together really well, and maybe somebody can't make it there, but this other troop is going to help pick them up. So you'll just select there, and then will you be picking up for more than one troop? So if you're that person that's picking up multiple orders, you can select that here, and then it will just adjust. So these are all, I don't know how to explain it, by order size. So if you, or by troop. So if you have 5 troops, it's going to allow you to pick 5 slots next to each other. So that's why we asked that question. Troops that have now selected a delivery location when submitting their initial order. So your initial order cookies will be received and picked up at your scheduled delivery sites. These happen on Friday 9th, 10th, 12th, or 13th. All girl delivered orders that were placed on digital cookie will be available at the delivery site and included on your initial order. Please note that all shipped and donated orders that were received during the initial order will not be at the delivery site. These cookies are they never go through your hands. So the shipped orders are shipped directly to the customer, and the donated orders are all tallied up throughout the sale, and then at the end of the sale, council does one big order, and we handle those cookies ourselves. So definitely keep in mind that when you show up with your total number of cookies sold, that's not necessarily what your initial order contains. So this is where you would want to find your pickup sheet to show exactly what your order does contain. So have your troop number readily available when you arrive at the delivery site. Some best practices include having a piece of paper in your vehicle's dashboard with the troop number listed. So they'll take a piece of paper with a big old Sharpie and write their troop number, stick it up right in front of the driver's side dash so that staff can see that number at a greater distance and get your paper ready so that we're ready to rock and roll when you get up to the front of the line. You'll arrive with your troops pickup sheet. Staff will have this, but it is good to bring a copy for yourself to verify the counts. You can print your own pickup sheet under the Reports tab in eBuddy. All right, so after you get to the front of the line with your pickup sheet and your troop number prettily displayed in that front window, the site workers will load your vehicle with the amount of product specified on the troop's initial order, and the troop pickup person should carefully count the cookies as they're loaded. This is very important. The troop person picking up the cookies will sign off, agreeing that they did receive the correct amount of cookies. And then another thing to note is to be sure that you bring a vehicle large enough to hold the amount of cookie cases. You can bring extra parents and caregivers and vehicles. If your order is larger, we just ask that you all gather together somewhere else before entering the line. So we definitely want to make sure that we have all those cars in a row if you do have multiple vehicles picking up for that for one troop. We do not allow anyone to cut the line. Your troop will also at the delivery site receive a booth kit. This is a little paperwork packet that's going to include different resources and tips for your booth sale portion of the season. If there is an issue with your order, say you're missing some items or you have some damaged cases or boxes, we do ask that you email us within 24 hours so that we can rectify that with the delivery company. So definitely 24 hours. You want to make sure that you're counting that stuff as it's loaded and then as you unload it as well when you arrive home or wherever you're unloading those cookies. You'll want to then notify the parents and guardians in your troop when you expect to have the cookies picked up from the delivery site and sorted by girl. So maybe this process will most likely take you a few days to get sorted. I know some troops will like to have kind of like a little mingle and party with a bunch of the troop parents to help in this process, but definitely communicate with them a time frame so that they can communicate with their customers in turn to let them know when to expect the girl delivery cookies to be delivered. All right, so troops will deposit all cookie program funds into their individual troop bank accounts promptly and frequently. Funds owed to GSSEM are paid through 2 ACH sweeps. So the initial order ACH sweep takes place on February 27th, and the final will be April 21st. So you can review your troop manager guide for more details on the financial process of everything. I think they're the last 3 pages in the guide. If you want to get an estimate, kind of see where you might stand for the IO sweep, an example would be your total number of boxes on the initial order multiplied by $2.50. It then subtracts any digital cookie payments, and then it will show the balance due after that. So say this troop order, they're showing an example, had 1,000 boxes of cookies equaling $2,500, but the troop had 2,000 of that paid through girl delivery. So I guess the digital cookie payments, it says, oops, one thing to note, girl delivered only as of 2/18. So it's only going to subtract girl delivery payments from digital cookie for the initial order. So this troop had $2,000 in girl delivery orders up until February 18th. So that subtracted another 2,000, leaving only $500 balance due. There's also an early renewal bonus. This was an initiative by our membership team. If you renewed a certain percentage of the troop by, I want to say it was June. So if your troop did earn that, you'll also see that reflected on the payment side of your eBuddy report, your sales report, sorry, by February 20th. And then we will have all the calculations completed by Thursday, February 22nd. And if you have any specific questions, you can email gssem-finance@gssem.org with the subject line IOACH sweep amount and then your troop number. All right, that is all I have for now. It looks like I have just a couple questions, so I can go ahead and take those from the chat here. So Kelly would like to know, when we do the initial order and we want to add cookies for a booth, we're ordering those cookies per package, not per case, correct? Yes, you are going to, so if you want 10 cases of Thin Mints, you're going to enter 120 packages. All right, Nicole would like to know, when does a troop leader request funds from parents for their initial order? By February 27th. All right, so let's see. Let me pull up my trusty handbook here. So that first ACH sweep takes place on February 26th. So you are going to want your funds must be available in the troop bank account, checks cleared by February 23rd. So depending on how punctual your parents are and how much you trust them, I would probably probably ask them for that money at least a week prior to the 23rd. All right, Lori has a question. So we set up a Troop digital cookie site and received one girl delivered order. I can't find it on the initial order page. It shows the paid order, not the cookies though. Okay, let me hop over to eBuddy here. Just give me a second. I did look at one like this earlier. I think it's for the girl delivery orders for the initial order period. These are not automatically included in the initial order, so it's going to be much like booth sales where you're getting those girl delivery orders and then you have to take it out of the troop inventory. So for that order, if you don't have enough down in that extras line, I would encourage you to add packages needed to um, the girls that you're assigning those cookies to. I think that should work. Let me see. See if I can find. Do you mind giving us your troop number, Lori, so we can take a peek at that? Thank you. All right, so boo. All right, so girl orders, troop site. Okay, so yeah, you have the $25 worth of girl delivery orders paid. It's not giving the distribute button just yet. And yeah, so I think it's going to be just like any girl delivery orders that are coming in after the initial order, where you're just going to be fulfilling those with inventory and then marking them as delivered. All right. Initial orders are due by the 1st at midnight. When is the earliest we can submit the initial order? I wouldn't recommend doing it much sooner than the 28th, unless, I mean, you would have to adjust that parent's deadline. So I don't think there's anything that's too early to submit, but definitely make sure that you have that parent IO shut off in time, or make sure that your and make sure that your parents have their girl delivery option shut off within at least 3 days, probably 5 days, because the 5-day approval period. So you're wanting to make sure that you don't lose any orders coming over from Digital Cookie after the initial order is submitted. That's where things get sticky, and that's why we shut it off for a few days. Could we add troop website orders under other? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't really, booth and other are pretty much the same. It's not going to affect much. You can put those in either section. The parents do have to shut off girl delivery individually, unfortunately. Girl delivery orders in eBuddy. All right, let's look at a girl here. So it's not going to show the order quantities for each order in eBuddy, but there is a report in Digital Cookie that can be used. Actually, you know what? There might be a report in here. It's been a while. So it would be one of these reports. Yep, girl delivery. I would just do a report for all DOC orders, and that should show you everything that you need. I don't want to open hers up because it's going to show email addresses and all that sort of thing. But yeah, you can pull a report. Excuse me, a report from eBuddy to show all of those varieties. But it honestly is going to be easiest for you to just ask the parents what they need for the girl delivery orders after this period. Put the responsibility on them, less work for you. Can we as a troop turn off girl delivery? Oh, I already answered that one. Does the girl delivery automatically get turned off or do we have to do something? It automatically turns off on the 28th. Can you verify what DOC stands for? Yes, digital order card. That's the short acronym for digital cookie when it first opened up and when it first started. All right. Do we have any other questions? Feel free to hop off mute too if you want. I'm going to stop my recording though here. If I can figure out how to
clarify.
Yeah.
Sorry, I started typing this and I thought it was